In the matter of Pragya PRASUN versus Union of India, Supreme Court said that technology has played a transformative role in reshaping India's economy and governance. Initiatives such as Digital India aim to promote efficiency, transparency, and accessibility through digital means. Central to this transformation has been creation of robust digital infrastructure including the Aadhaar program, online KYC mechanisms, and various electronic service delivery platforms. However, amidst this wave of digital progress, there remains a crucial and often overlooked aspect that demands urgent attention, ensuring that digital infrastructure and services are accessible to all, including persons with disabilities and other marginalized groups. True inclusion requires that technological advancements accommodate the diverse needs of all citizens, thereby fostering an environment where no individual is left behind. With this preface, Court said we now proceed to examine key issues involved in this case. In order to make process of digital KYC accessible to persons with disabilities, especially facial or eye disfigurements due to acid attacks and visual impairment, Supreme Court issued the following directions. Respondent authorities and ministries shall direct all REs, whether government or private, to follow accessibility standards as prescribed from time to time. The respondent shall appoint nodal officer in every department responsible for digital accessibility compliance. All regulated entities must mandatorily undergo periodical accessibility audit by certified accessibility professionals and involve persons with blindness in user acceptance testing phase while designing any app or website or in case of new feature being launched. RBI shall issue guidelines to all regulated entities to adopt and incorporate alternative modes for verifying liveness or capturing a live photograph of consumers as mandated under Annex 1 of MD of KYC 2016 for purpose of mandated conducting digital KYC e-KYC beyond traditional blinking of eyes to ensure inclusivity and user convenience. RBI shall issue appropriate clarifications, guidelines, directions to all regulated entities that they have customer due diligence and onboarding of new customers can be done using video-based KYC process or the VCIP procedure in accordance with provisions of MD on KYC 2016, wherein blinking of eyes is not a mandatory requirement. Respondent authorities must design KYC templates or customer acquisition forms to capture disability type and percentage of customer and appropriately record as part of account of records so as to provide them accessible services or reasonable accommodations. Respondent authorities should provide clear directions to all regulated entities to accept image of thumb impression during digital KYC process. RBI shall amend MD on KYC so as to enhance implementation of OTP based eKYC authentication face to face to customers. Respondent number 3 shall make necessary amendments or modifications to notification dated 5 December, thereby ensuring that paper-based KYC process for verification of customers shall continue, enabling petitioners and other similarly placed individuals to avail accessible alternative for completing KYC procedure. Respondent authorities shall provide options for sign language interpretation, closed captions, audio descriptions for visually and hearing impaired users. Respondent authorities shall also develop alternative formats including Braille, easy to read formats, voice enabled services to disseminate government notifications and deliver public services, ensuring accessibility for all. All regulated entities should procure or design devices or websites or applications or softwares in compliance of accessibility standards for ICT products and services as notified by Bureau of Indian Standards. Respondent authorities shall ensure that online services, including e-governance platforms, digital payment systems, and e-launching platforms, are accessible to persons with disabilities, thereby fostering a barrier-free digital environment. Respondent authorities are directed to ensure that websites, mobile applications, and digital platforms comply with web content accessibility guidelines and other relevant national standards, such as guidelines for Indian government websites. It shall be mandatory for all government websites to adhere to Section 46 of the RPWD Act 2016, which requires both electronic and print media to be accessible to persons with disabilities. Respondent authorities shall issue appropriate guidelines to develop and implement mechanism where customers who have completed KYC with one regulated entity may authorize sharing of KYC information with other entities through central KYC registry. Respondent authorities shall establish dedicated grievance redressal mechanism for persons with disabilities to report accessibility issues. Respondent authorities shall establish mechanism for human review of rejected KYC applications in cases where accessibility related challenges prevent successful verification. Designated human officers shall be empowered to override automated rejections and approve applications on a case to case basis. Respondent authorities shall establish dedicated helplines for persons with disabilities offering step by step assistance in completing KYC process through voice or video support. RBI shall routinely initiate public campaigns through press release, advertisement in electronic, print, and social media portals and to raise awareness, increase sensitization, and ensure effective dissemination of information about alternative methods, including digital KYC, eKYC, and circulate standardized materials and mandate all regulated entities to display notices containing such information. Respondent authorities should mandate inclusion of disability awareness and training modules as part of e-learning modules for officials of regulated entities for better sensitization of officials. RBI shall monitor and ensure strict adherence by all regulated entities to the guidelines, notifications, directions issued by it, including those in terms of directions issued by the Supreme Court in instant writ petition. While the petitioners in writ petition were acid attack victims who suffered from facial disfigurement and severe eye burns, petitioner in other writ petition was suffering from 100% blindness. These writ petitions had been filed seeking directions to various respondents to formulate appropriate rules and guidelines for conducting digital KYC, eKYC, video Know Your Customer process through alternative methods with a view to ensuring that process is more inclusive and accessible to all persons with disabilities, particularly acid attack survivors surviving from permanent facial or eye disfigurement, and similarly placed individuals, including persons with blindness and low vision, in accordance with the provisions of Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, Rights of Persons with Disability Rules 2017, and Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The writ petitions further sought to ensure that adequate measures are undertaken to guarantee accessibility and provide reasonable accommodations for persons with disabilities in accessing financial services, telecommunications, and government schemes.